Vegeta met Granola, then he fought Granola, and now the two of them are training together. But what's going on in Universe 6? We'll cover all that and more in the 7th part of What If Vegeta Stayed Evil. Goku's getting pretty adjusted to life in Universe 6. He's been training under Vados more, and he's pretty much back into his normal routine. But now he's kinda curious. He remembers that Saiyan Kaba and wants to know if there's any other Saiyans like him, because he did hear about Sadala, and he knows that there are Saiyans here in this universe still, but he wonders if they're all just like him and actually good. And yeah, apparently Sadala is actually a good place. And knowing what he knows about Saiyans, he knows that they're pretty strong warriors, so of course Goku wants to go there. It's not that he cares about the Saiyan specifically, it's more the fact that it'll be a good opportunity to fight. Champa's not really too sure, but Vado says that it could be a good idea because, that means the rest of the universe could grow stronger too. Imagine if Goku teaches them the secrets of Super Saiyan and such. Universe 6's mortal level is pretty low, and this could help raise it if they have a really strong planet full of Super Saiyans. And you know what? Champa instantly agrees to that. Sure, he can go over there. So, that meeting's set up. For the first time, Goku is taken to planet Sadala by Vados. And he basically has free reign to do whatever over here. Cab was told to expect him, and then he relayed that information and eventually got to King Sadala. He's pretty interested because he's never met a Saiyan from another universe before, so it could be an interesting experience. Goku briefly meets King Sadala, although there's not really too much of note because, Goku's Goku. He's not going to be the most formal person, but King Sadala at least finds it amusing. Although it's pretty shocking to learn what the Universe 7 Saiyans are like. Apparently they're all ruthless warriors, and most of them are dead. The only ones alive are Goku, Vegeta, and Goku's kids. Well, as far as Goku knows. It's despicable to think that the ruler of the Saiyans in that universe is like, but Goku at least is a good example, and he's welcome here anytime. So now Goku spends some time with Kaba, and Kaba of course wants to learn more about Super Saiyan and such. Because Goku doesn't just have Super Saiyan, he has forms beyond that. So they go in the middle of nowhere to spar, and then two other people show up. They heard that someone important was visiting, and apparently he's pretty powerful. It's Caulifla and Kale. Caulifla wanted to check it out, and she basically dragged Kale along with her. So they watch from a distance as Goku and Kaba fight, and then Goku shows off Super Saiyan. Goku was so focused on his sparring with Kaba that he didn't even notice the powers nearby, which he now senses. So he teleports over to them. He tells the two they don't need to watch from far away. They could join in the sparring match if they want. Kaba's not really too familiar with either of them right now, so he's not really too sure why they're here. He only knows Caulifla vaguely because of her brother, and Kale's basically new to him. But Goku ends up learning who they are, and he says that they're welcome to join too. Kaba's able to pull off Super Saiyan, which really surprises Goku. He's not really sure how to teach it to the other two though. Caulifla gets really excited about this, and of course, she keeps asking Goku questions about it, which ends up making Kale more jealous about it. He's hogging all the attention, and essentially what happened in the Tournament of Power probably would happen here too, where Kale would get really mad about it, and end up losing control and eventually transforming inadvertently. Yeah, I know what everyone thinks about the Universe X Saiyans, but they transformed really easily in the story, so I'm gonna go with the same thing here. And her Super Saiyan is of course very different. She's completely berserk. Goku's never seen a Super Saiyan with green hair before, and she's way stronger than a regular Super Saiyan. Goku has to transform even further, eventually getting a bit serious too, but he's able to stop her. He didn't want it to go like that, but he didn't really have a choice. Honestly, he's never seen anything like that, so he's not too sure what else to do. But he's gonna stay here a little bit longer. He wants to see more of that weird form and see if he can actually help her tame it. Not to mention, Caulifla still hasn't unlocked Super Saiyan yet, and he finds these three Saiyans in particular interesting. It might be about time Goku takes on some students, so this could be a fun opportunity. Goku doesn't end up going back to Vados for a while, but somebody else is there. In the time that he's been in Universe 6, another rival emerged for Goku, Piccolo. Of course, they've been rivals for a while, but that kind of fell off. Piccolo spent a lot of time with Gohan training, mainly whenever Goku's off the planet, so he has grown stronger, but it's not like he's on the level of Goku or Gohan for that matter. Goku did eventually want to find Hit again and maybe have him as a rival, but Hit's not really focused on that, he has his jobs to worry about. Although Champa and Vados did find it interesting that a Namekian was on Earth, so they decided maybe they should look into him a little bit more. From what they could tell, he's stronger than any of the Namekians in this universe. Plus, he still hasn't fused with Kami yet. By this point, he realizes that it's probably for the best that he does so, and he eventually does do that. It doesn't give him a major boost in power, but at least reunites him and makes him the nameless Namekian again. But this created a series of events that led to Piccolo eventually visiting Namek and learning more about what that's like in this universe. Basically out of curiosity. He feels really far behind, and maybe this new universe could be an opportunity to get ahead. Eventually that led to him going to Champa's planet, sparring with Goku a bit, and of course he's not nearly as strong as Goku's strongest forms, but by this point, he became stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which Champa did find kind of impressive, and same for Vados. And Piccolo asked to be trained there. He basically pulls what Goku did with Beerus, and gives them food as an offering. And Champa says as long as Piccolo brings him more food, sure, he could train here. So now Piccolo's been growing stronger too. This is not only for himself, but also, once they're back in Universe 7, he wants to be strong enough to actually fight against Vegeta. He really felt like he couldn't do anything, and he doesn't want to feel that way again. Not to mention, maybe he could figure out a way around Vegeta's immortality if he tries to train himself. He hasn't really been focused on that too much. It's mostly been Goku and Gohan fighting Vegeta here. Plus, after going to Namek, Piccolo learned more about making the set of Dragon Balls for himself after merging with Kami, because Kami had the power to do so that power still locked away within him somewhere. He just needed to figure out how to make it happen again. And one thing he remembered is that Guru was able to unlock potential on Namek, which he never got done to him. And on this Namek, the Elder is able to do the same exact thing, unlocking Piccolo's potential and making him far stronger. So Piccolo's had a huge jump in power too. But let's go back over to Universe 7. Vegeta and Granola train on Beerus' planet, and they don't really get along too well. Beerus has no clue of what to do next. And to make things worse, Zeno eventually announces the Tournament of Power. Great. They need to get 10 fighters together. They're not going to find anyone for that. Vegeta gets a little too overconfident and says they're not really going to need any strong fighters either. It could just be him and Granola, and maybe they can get some of his soldiers to fill the rest of the team. But Beerus says they need at least one more strong person. He doesn't want to get too overconfident like that and tells Vegeta he needs to take this serious. But they don't really have any other choices. There's not many other strong warriors in Universe 7, at least ones that'll be good for this team. This team is pretty bad to begin with because it's full of evil people. Like, it's Vegeta and his army, and then Granola, who's not necessarily a bad person and probably the best on the team. But his motivations aren't exactly great. He's just trying to grow stronger to eventually kill Vegeta, and destroy the entire Vegeta force. He's a little bit misguided. They don't even consider reviving anyone either because it never comes to mind for Vegeta. He doesn't have access to Dragon Balls, and doesn't know about Baba, nor does he know about Whis being able to revive people. So, no one from Otherworld. He sends his army out to try and find a strong warrior somewhere. This will be good because it lets him find another recruit, and get someone new for the team. He even considers recruiting Tarble, but no way. He's going to be far too weak. He continues to shun his brother, which sounds kind of cruel, but it's for the best for Tarble, honestly. It wouldn't be good for him to get involved in this, especially with Vegeta being how he is. And eventually his soldiers come across someone pretty strong. When they tell him about this person, Vegeta doesn't believe it at first, but they tell him to come to a planet called Vampa. There, Vegeta meets another strong warrior, a fellow Saiyan. To think this entire time, another Saiyan's been alive. Actually, two of them. Paragus is here too, although he's pretty old by Saiyan standards. But Vegeta meets Broly for the first time. Although, that meeting is not really going to go great because, it's Vegeta meeting Broly and Paragus. Paragus has wanted to kill Vegeta for his entire life. So, he sicks Broly on Vegeta. But then they come to learn that Vegeta's immortal, so Broly backs off before he loses control. And this just angers Paragus even further. He tells them they shouldn't blame him for what his father did. He's here to give them a new chance at life. They're fellow Saiyans, and they could join his army. Plus, Broly's pretty powerful. Would they rather fight him and die in the process, knowing that it's a losing battle, or would they rather have a better life, finally leave this planet, and start again under Vegeta's army? They're not going to agree that easily, but Vegeta adds something to it. He tells them about the Tournament of Power, and says that they should join him because if they don't, well, the universe will likely get erased. They don't really have a choice here because if they're going to want to survive, they need to join the Tournament of Power. At least Broly does. Paragus probably isn't going to join. It takes a lot of convincing, and Paragus and Broly still aren't going to get along with Vegeta, but they reluctantly join the Tournament of Power team, and they'll go from there and see what Vegeta could do for them to get them off Vampa. They're probably not going to work for his army, but they'll figure something out. And Vegeta knows they're probably not going to like him right away, so he'll figure something out later. Team Universe 7 is Vegeta, Granola, Broly, and then some random soldiers from the Vegeta Force who aren't particularly strong. Again, they couldn't really gather together anyone else. Shin even tried to find some other strong fighters in Universe 7, but there wasn't really many people to look at. There was Namek, and they could have gotten a warrior from there, but they declined because first of all, they didn't think they'd be able to help, and second of all, they weren't going to fight alongside Vegeta. They were pretty adamant about that. The only other options were people in the Galactic Patrol prison, which obviously they're not going to go for that. So what about Team Universe 6? Thankfully for Champa, he has more than enough people to pick from. So for Earth's warriors, he picks Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, and Krillin. For the next 6 fighters, he gets Kaba, Kale, Caulifla, Hit, Frost, and Vegeta. Honestly, Vegeta could be anyone else, but he'd probably be the last pick just because he's pretty defensive. If no one knows his weakness, he's not going to be defeated. Unfortunately, no bow to Vegeta though. But this is good. They have an abundance of people. They could have even gotten more warriors from Earth, or other planets, but they didn't really need it. Especially because they have one ace up their sleeve, which is definitely going to guarantee their victory. The tournament begins, and it becomes clear right off the bat that Universe 6 is the strongest here. Well, besides Universe 11 at least, which we'll get to in a bit. Although Universe 7 has 3 particularly powerful warriors. For the most part, they're fodder, and Vegeta's army gets defeated pretty much right off the bat. Universe 7 loses most of its fighters right away. Vegeta does have one idea of how to win this tournament, and that's just to do a final explosion and knock everyone out of the ring. But that's kind of a last resort because, first of all, he might kill someone in the process and get eliminated himself, and also, he doesn't want to do it just like that. He wants to fight Kakarot again. This is his chance. So pretty much immediately, he goes to fight Goku. Moments after the tournament begins, Goku and Vegeta begin fighting. Goku isn't surprised to see him here again, and he's glad that they'll get to fight. But he's going to have to take this serious right off the bat. Vegeta showcases Super Saiyan Blue, and Goku showcases his own Super Saiyan Blue. Looks like they're on the same level now. While that fight's going on, Broly's fighting some other people too, eventually coming across the Universe 6 Saiyans. One thing of concern here is the fact that he doesn't have Paragus with him, which means if he goes berserk, he's going to completely lose control. He might even kill someone in the process. And knowing what's at stake here, plus the fact that he's basically forced to fight alongside Vegeta, he's pretty agitated already. I feel like at some point, Broly would go berserk, then transform, but only into Wrathful at first. Ironically enough, he's fighting the Universe 6 Saiyans right now, and they're not seeing his full power Super Saiyan form with the green hair because if they did, well, they'd realize that he's probably pretty similar to Kale in that regard. Broly starts raging and fighting them and they can't really do anything against him, so the Universe 6 Saiyans actually get knocked out pretty quickly. Then Toppo steps up to fight Broly, because he seems to be a big threat and an evildoer. Goku notices the fight going on and he does want to fight Broly and help out the other Saiyans, but he can't. He's preoccupied with Vegeta. Broly starts fighting Toppo, but before he could do anything, a blast is then sent towards him, knocking him clean out of the ring. It was from Jiren. Before he could transform or grow even further, Jiren wanted to eliminate that threat, especially because he was probably going to kill someone in the process. He was clearly unrestrained. Toppo's a little bit nervous after seeing that, but thanks Jiren. Broly must have had more power than he realized for Jiren to even take him seriously. But Jiren goes back to meditating. Vegeta and Goku continue their fight, and Goku's taking this tournament pretty serious here. And he also does have to pace himself and doesn't want to waste all of his energy right away on Vegeta. There's other warriors he wants to fight. He uses Blue Kaioken at one point, catching Vegeta off guard, and knocking him out of the ring. This angers Vegeta to no end. Not only was he defeated, but he was basically ignored by Kakarot. He really wanted to just kill Kakarot here, but he knows that wouldn't have been a good idea. But this is looking bad. The universe only has one fighter left. It's Granola. Pretty much with no other option, Granola tries to fight Goku, but Goku dispatches him pretty quickly, knocking him out of the ring, and he's the one responsible for actually eliminating Universe 7, which he didn't really have a choice, but of course he feels bad about it. And as Universe 7's eliminated, he shares a look at Beerus. It's an expression he hasn't really seen from Beerus before. It's very solemn. He can tell that Beerus isn't happy about what's happening in his universe right now, and things have gone really bad. And obviously, his universe is being erased right now. As far as he knows, this is going to be permanent. Universe 7 isn't the first universe erased, but this one does hit close to Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, and Krillin, making them even more serious than before. They watch on as Beerus is erased. Beerus then looks to Champa and says nothing, but then looks back to Goku, telling him that he better win this. Goku may not be in Universe 7 right now, or even align with their team at the moment, but he's the last hope for Universe 7. He watches as they're all erased, with Vegeta glaring at Goku one last time. This isn't over. The 4 Universe 7 transplants are left in awe. Thankfully, the erasure doesn't affect them because the Super Dragon Balls did reassign them to Universe 6. So even though they are from Universe 7, thankfully Zeno's erasure doesn't recognize them as such because of Super Shenron. Goku looks to Jiren for his next fight, and Piccolo says it's time to get serious. And Goku's already made up this mind. They're going to win this tournament, and once they do, they're bringing back Universe 7, and all the other erased universes for that matter. But they're going to have to erase the others to get there in the first place. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. What do you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help with the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.